You've been lied to your entire life. You were told that hard work pays off, that dedication leads to success, and that if you just put in enough effort, you'll rise to the top. But look around you. How many people do you see grinding away at their jobs, pouring their hearts into their work, only to watch someone else, someone who barely lifts a finger, climb past them? How many times have you watched the laziest person in the room get the promotion while you're still stuck in the same position? Before we dive deep into this uncomfortable truth, if you're ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about success, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to this channel. We're about to pull back the curtain on one of society's biggest secrets. The hard work myth. You wake up at 5 a.m. You stay late at the office. You skip lunch breaks. You sacrifice weekends with your family. You do all of this because you believe in the promise, work hard and you'll succeed. But here's what nobody told you: hard work alone is one of the most overrated qualities in modern society. Think about it. Who gets paid more, the construction worker who physically builds the house in scorching heat, or the real estate agent who shows it for 20 minutes? Who earns more respect, the teacher molding young minds for 40 hours a week, or the influencer posting a 30-second video from their bed? The nurse working double shifts saving lives, or the consultant who flies in, delivers a PowerPoint presentation, and flies out? Society doesn't reward effort. Society rewards results, perception, and strategic positioning. And here's the brutal truth: the people who understand this are often labeled as lazy by those still trapped in the hard work illusion. The efficiency paradox. Let's get one thing straight: what looks like laziness is often actually efficiency. You see someone finishing their work in 2 hours while you're still grinding after 8, and you think they're lazy. But what if they're just smarter? What if they've figured out the system while you're still trying to impress it? There's a reason why the phrase, "work smarter, not harder," exists. The Industrial Revolution needed workers who could follow orders and put in long hours. That model created wealth for factory owners, not workers. Yet somehow, that mentality has persisted into the information age, where your value isn't measured by how many hours you sit at a desk but by the ideas you generate and the problems you solve. The person you call lazy might have automated their tasks. They might have built systems that do the work for them. They might have learned to delegate, to prioritize ruthlessly, and to focus only on high-impact activities. While you're busy responding to every email and attending every meeting to prove your dedication, they're focusing on the 20% of work that produces 80% of the results. The visibility game. Here's something you need to understand: in most organizations, visibility matters more than productivity. The person who stays late and sends emails at midnight isn't necessarily doing more valuable work, they're just making sure everyone knows they're working. Meanwhile, the person who completes excellent work efficiently during regular hours and then logs off, they're invisible. And in a system that values performance theater over actual performance, invisible means unrewarded. You've seen this play out. The colleague who's always in meetings, always on calls, always appearing busy, they get recognition. They get promoted. Not necessarily because they're producing better results, but because they're visible. They've mastered the art of looking productive without necessarily being productive. The truly efficient worker finishes their tasks and moves on. They don't need to perform busyness because they're focused on outcomes. But society, especially corporate culture, has confused activity with achievement. So the person working 12-hour days gets praised for their dedication, while the person who accomplishes the same in 6 hours gets side-eyed for not appearing to suffer enough. The leverage principle. The wealthiest people in the world aren't the hardest workers. They're the smartest workers. They understand leverage. They know how to make money work for them, how to make systems work for them, how to make other people work for them. While you're trading hours for dollars, they're building assets that generate income while they sleep. Jeff Bezos doesn't work harder than an Amazon warehouse worker. Elon Musk doesn't put in more physical effort than a Tesla factory employee. But they've built systems, companies, and technologies that multiply their efforts exponentially. That's leverage. That's what actually creates wealth in modern society. You call someone lazy because they're living off investment income instead of working a traditional job. But they spent years learning about markets, taking risks, and building wealth while you were focused on climbing the corporate ladder. They were playing a different game, one where the goal isn't to work forever but to work strategically until you don't have to work at all. The social system design. Society's structures are built to reward certain types of laziness, while punishing certain types of hard work. Inheritance laws allow wealth to pass through generations without any effort from the recipients. Tax structures favor capital gains over earned income, meaning money you make from investments is taxed less than money you earn from labor. Corporate structures allow CEOs to receive stock options and bonuses worth millions while the people doing the actual work get modest salaries. The system is designed this way. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Those who understand the rules get ahead. Those who don't understand them keep working harder, wondering why they're not moving forward. Consider education. You spend 4 years and thousands of dollars getting a degree, grinding through exams and assignments. Meanwhile, someone else spends those same 4 years building a business, learning practical skills, or developing a valuable network. 10 years later, they're ahead of you financially. Were they lazy for skipping the traditional path, or were they strategic? The energy management reality. Here's what the hard work cult doesn't tell you: sustainable success requires energy management, not just effort expenditure. You can't run at full speed forever. Eventually, you burn out. Meanwhile, the person who paces themselves, who takes breaks, who prioritizes rest and recovery, they're still in the game when you're sidelined by exhaustion. You judge someone for taking naps during the day, but research shows that strategic rest improves cognitive performance, creativity, and decision-making. You criticize someone for setting boundaries and leaving work on time, but they're preserving their mental health and maintaining relationships that matter. They're playing the long game while you're sprinting a marathon. The most successful people you admire aren't necessarily the busiest. Warren Buffett spends most of his day reading. Bill Gates takes think weeks where he does nothing but reflect. They understand that their most valuable asset is their mind, and minds need rest to function optimally. The relationship between effort and value. Society doesn't pay you for how hard you work. It pays you for how hard you are to replace. A job that requires immense physical effort but minimal specialized skill will always pay less than a job that requires rare expertise, regardless of the effort involved. This is basic economics, but it contradicts everything you were taught about hard work being its own reward. The person who learned to code can create value from anywhere in the world with just a laptop. The person who mastered persuasion and sales can earn 6 figures without breaking a sweat. The person who built a personal brand can monetize their influence with minimal effort. They're not lazy, they invested their energy in developing skills that society values highly. Meanwhile, someone working 3 jobs, physically exhausted every day, might still struggle to make ends meet. Not because they're not working hard enough, but because their labor, while necessary, is easily replaceable. This is the harsh reality: effort and reward are not linearly correlated in the modern economy. The opportunity cost of busy work. Every hour you spend on low-value tasks is an hour you're not spending on high-value activities. Every evening you work late is an evening you're not learning new skills, building relationships, or developing side projects that could change your life. The lazy person who leaves work at 5 might be spending their evenings learning to invest, building a side business, or networking with successful people. You're so busy working hard that you don't have time to work smart. You're so caught up in the daily grind that you can't step back and see the bigger picture. Meanwhile, the person who appears to be doing less is actually investing in their future while you're just getting by in your present. This is the trap of hard work without strategy. You feel virtuous because you're busy. You feel productive because you're tired. But are you actually moving toward your goals, or are you just moving? The psychology of perceived laziness. When you see someone succeeding without apparent effort, your brain tries to rationalize it. They must have had help. They must have gotten lucky. They must be cutting corners. It's uncomfortable to accept that maybe they're just operating from a different paradigm than you are. This is cognitive dissonance. You've invested so much in the belief that hard work is the path to success that seeing evidence to the contrary threatens your worldview. So you label it as laziness, cheating, or privilege rather than recognizing it might be efficiency, strategy, or intelligence. The person working 4 hours a day and earning twice your income isn't necessarily lazy. They might have spent years developing expertise that allows them to work quickly. They might have built systems and processes that automate routine tasks. They might have learned to charge based on value delivered rather than time spent. While you're still billing by the hour, they're billing by the outcome. The reframe you need. It's time to reframe your understanding of laziness. What if laziness is actually about energy conservation and strategic action? What if the goal isn't to work as hard as possible but to achieve your desired outcome with the minimum necessary effort? Nature operates on this principle. Rivers take the path of least resistance. Predators conserve energy between hunts. Even your own body is designed to be efficient, not wasteful. Why should your approach to work and success be any different? The person who finds an easier way to accomplish something isn't lazy, they're innovative. The person who delegates tasks instead of doing everything themselves isn't lazy, they're leveraging their time. The person who says no to unnecessary commitments isn't lazy, they're protecting their most valuable resource. Stop glorifying suffering. Stop wearing exhaustion as a badge of honor. Stop believing that the most tired person in the room is the most valuable. That's not success, that's martyrdom. The path forward. So what do you do with this information? First, audit your efforts. List everything you do in a typical week and honestly assess which activities produce real value and which are just busy work. Be ruthless. Your time is limited, and every hour spent on low-impact activities is an hour stolen from high-impact opportunities. Second, learn to build systems and leverage. Can you automate repetitive tasks? Can you delegate work that doesn't require your specific expertise? Can you create processes that continue to generate value even when you're not actively working? These are the questions successful people ask. Third, stop judging others through the lens of traditional hard work. The person who's found a way to earn more while working less hasn't cheated the system, they've mastered it. Learn from them instead of resenting them. Fourth, prioritize skills that society values highly. Communication, persuasion, strategic thinking, technical expertise in emerging fields, these create leverage. Physical labor and time spent don't. This doesn't mean those jobs aren't important, it means they're structured in a way that limits upward mobility. Fifth, focus on results, not effort. Your boss doesn't care that you worked 80 hours if you didn't accomplish anything meaningful. Your bank account doesn't care how hard you worked if you didn't earn money. Your future self doesn't care how much you suffered if you didn't progress toward your goals. The uncomfortable truth. The final truth you need to accept is this: the game you think you're playing isn't the game being played. While you're working hard to prove your worth, others are working smart to build their wealth. While you're focused on effort, they're focused on equity. While you're measuring success by hours worked, they're measuring it by outcomes achieved and freedom gained. Society rewards what it values, and increasingly, it values efficiency over effort, results over process, and innovation over dedication. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you can stop playing a game you can't win and start playing one where you have a chance. This doesn't mean you should become actually lazy, inactive, unmotivated, and directionless. It means you should be strategic, efficient, and focused. It means you should work with intention rather than just working hard. It means you should build systems that serve you rather than spending your life serving a system that doesn't reward your sacrifice. Look, the hard work narrative isn't completely wrong. You need to put in effort. You need to be disciplined. You need to be willing to do difficult things. But effort without strategy is just exhaustion. Hard work without leverage is just a hamster wheel. Dedication without direction is just wasted energy. The people society rewards most aren't necessarily the hardest workers, they're the smartest workers. They understand the rules of the game. They know how to create value efficiently. They've learned to make their efforts multiply rather than just add up. You've been programmed to believe that suffering equals virtue and that the hardest path is the most honorable. But what if the most honorable thing you could do is achieve your goals while maintaining your health, relationships, and sanity? What if working yourself to death isn't noble, it's just tragic? Stop wearing your exhaustion as a badge of honor. Stop judging your worth by how much you suffer. Stop believing that the person working less is getting away with something. They might just know something you don't. The choice is yours. You can keep grinding, keep believing that hard work alone will save you, keep wondering why others get ahead while you stay stuck. Or you can open your eyes to how the system actually works and start playing the real game. Your move.